special, I suppose?
Yeah, every game's special, especially European games. Torrance had a great history in European football over the years, played some big games, so this is no different. Looking forward to it. The fact that it's 100th, it's not a game.
Come here with confidence, so you're in a decent run of results?
Look, the reality is it's an Irish Premier League team playing a Scottish Premier League team, so we're under no illusions what it's going to be like. It's going to be a hard game for us, but it's also a hard game for them. You know, we know the situation that the club is in. Motherwell, they haven't started well, but we can't play on that. We have to realise it's the Scottish Premier League team. They're looking for their first win of the season, and I'm sure they wouldn't like anything better than to start that first win with a win over Glentoran. So we know it's going to be hard. We'll respect them. I'm sure they're going to respect us as well. And I think it's going to be a good game.
You feel you've got players that can test Motherwell?
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Anyone specifically?
Well, I think if you look along through our squad, you'll see players who have played. You know, these are not lads who have only played their career in the Irish League. These are lads who have played overseas as well. So we have a good mix of players that have been in the Irish League for a while, players that have come back to the Irish League, players who have played at a high level. We have a couple of senior internationals. Luke McCullough has played 6 times for Northern Ireland. Gary Mana has played for Burundi. We've got 3 other under-21 internationals. You know, so we have players that are quite capable of handling themselves in these games. Obviously, as a team, Motherwell competes at a much higher level than we do over the course of their seasons. And to finish third last year was impressive, really impressive for Motherwell to finish third. I think Stephen Robinson's done a brilliant job here over the years. So it's going to be hard for us, but as any game of football, as you all know, whoever shows up on the night always has a chance.
Have you been speaking to Stephen much in the past week since?
No, I haven't. I've never actually met Stephen, but we've been in communication over probably a couple of years. We have some mutual friends, and we've been in touch over some football-related matters, but we've never actually met. So I'm looking forward to it.
When you see them in with Northern Irish matches, but being in Scotland in the past few years, it must be nice for you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think there was one point where there was 5 or 6. So yeah, it's been a good, I don't know what you want to call that, development ground for Northern Ireland managers. It's been a great step for them to get from the Irish League into the Scottish Premier League. So it's a great league to be in, the Scottish Premier League, no doubt about that. So Stephen's done a great job, as have some of the other managers that have been here. And yeah, like I said, give him credit for what he did last year, finishing there. It was I want to say a miracle, but it was a really, really good push from him.
You mentioned Motherwell playing at a far higher level, but as 2 clubs, do you think there is much of a gap there between Glentoran and Motherwell?
As a club, infrastructure-wise, yes, there's massive gaps between the Scottish Premier League and the Irish Premier League. You know, some of our clubs are just recently moving to full-time, whereas the majority of our clubs in the Irish League are part-time, semi-part-time, full-time. We've got some full-time players. We've got, you know, so we're moving towards that direction, towards a completely full-time club, and we're close to that now. You know, the infrastructure of the clubs in Scotland is much bigger. Their budgets are much higher. The operations around the clubs are much more, you know, bigger, if you want to call it that. So yeah, they're more established than we are. We've got a great history, you know, the Glentorans of the world. But unfortunately, with the resources we have in Northern Ireland, in terms of the crowds and the money that's pumped into football, TV deal, we don't have one. You know, so there's things that result in Northern Ireland football not having the funding that Scottish football does have. So yeah, there's a big divide, if you want to call it that, between Scottish Premier League and Irish Premier League. But that doesn't necessarily mean individually or as a group on the playing side that it's a massive, massive difference. Yes, there's a difference, but it's not such a big difference where if you compete on your day, you can't get results.
How big a difference do you expect the fact there's no crowd to make to the players tomorrow?
Not too much for us. You know, we've played in 3 games already. We've played in 2 substantial games, a semi-final and a final of the Irish Cup. So the boys are pretty used to it now. And the Torshavn game that we had recently as well was played with no fans. So we'll be ready to go and we'll be focused.
Can it benefit you, the fact that Motherwell wanted the support behind them?
Well, I don't know about that now. We probably would have brought maybe 3,000 of ourselves. So I think the fans' base would have been pretty evenly matched, and our boys are pretty loud.
That's a real shame actually, you mentioned that size of a crowd you'd have brought, that would have been more or less close to full.
Yeah,
on the night,
it would have been a spectacle, but you know, we are where we are with pandemic, and we're looking forward to go out and play on that pitch. It's a pristine condition. There's no excuses from playing football on that pitch.
Don't know if you've seen the case of Motherwell's odds-on favourites. She's raised a few eyebrows. I think use of long shots. Is that a wee bit insulting to you guys?
It's not something I never really look into the odds. We will prepare properly. We'll prepare for any game. Doesn't matter if it's a European game or it's a league game. Never really look into the odds, and just go out and give our best.
Where will this sort of comparing the level of teams you've faced in Europe?
It's probably one of the highest. We played against KR Reykjavik. They were very good full-time outfit. Played against Selena out there, which was a fantastic experience. But yeah, the Motherwell's a big club, and I'm looking forward to playing against them.
In terms of you better get a positive result tomorrow in terms of Glentoran's history, where would
Like, it'll be a massive achievement to win any European tie. So we'll be focused, we'll be ready. We've suffered a lot throughout the season, and we'll get over the line, so hopefully we can do it tomorrow.
You say a lot about Glentoran suffered financial hardship a few years ago, and now the Irish Cup holders will be back in the European stage. Must be really pleasing as a club.
Yeah, it's massive. It's no secret that Glentoran struggled the last 10 years financially. But where we've come from since the takeover and our new investment in the 5th of July last year, we went from being almost £2 million in debt to debt free. We had no full-time players, and we now have a squad of 16 full-time players. We were written off at the start of the season as potential relegation fodder. We were 1 point out of third when the pandemic hit, and we were Irish Cup champions and won a game in Europe. So to go from where we came in a 12-month period is a credit to the players, credit to the people behind the scenes. I have to give thanks to our investor, obviously. But the club has come a long way against a lot of odds and a lot of criticism when we first came in. That, like I said, potential relegation fodder, bottom 3, bottom 5, we were predicted by a lot of our, not a lot, but a few of our local media. So to get what we've done in a calendar year has been impressive. So now we have a good platform to go on for our league for next season. That's the main point for us. We're building a platform. We're Glentoran back to where they were, in the 70s and 80s. We have a big rivalry there, obviously the Big Two in Belfast, and it's a great thing for the league because if there's a strong Big Two, it pulls the other teams along or pushes them along, creates revenue for the teams. When we show up at away venues, we fill their stadium, so it's a massive thing to have Glentoran back because it does fill the reserves of the other clubs as well. So as a project, we're in our early stages. It's 1 year in, and we're really looking forward to what's coming this year.
Sounds like you thrive in being an underdog, proving people wrong then.
Yeah, well, as they say, nobody likes us, we don't care. And that's, I'm sure a lot of Glentoran men have said that over the years. It doesn't faze us one bit. We know how we go about our business. We prepare for any opponent, no matter whether it's Motherwell or another Motherwell. It's another game for us. We'll be meticulous in our planning, and we will be prepared to play. We know what's at stake. They know what's at stake. And we're really looking forward to the game tomorrow.
What can we expect then? Are you going to have a right go at them? Or
I think in any game you've got to set yourself up to. We don't go out there to draw or lose. We go out there to win, and that's how you have to look at football matches. Obviously, on paper or in the bookie shops, where, like you said, we're a real long shot. Football matches aren't played on paper. Motherwell has a massive game on Sunday against Celtic. They, like I said, they've been hurting a little bit, so they'll be dying to get that first win. And they'll be going hard, just like we'll be going hard. They'll be going hard to get their first victory. Maybe set them up for a run. They have a hard run coming with Celtic, I believe, Aberdeen, St Johnstone, Rangers coming up. So, look, they'll be going hard at this game, just as we'll be going hard at this game. And I think if both teams play as they can, I think we're in for an interesting match, a hell of a match. I think it'll be a good spectacle, and I think it'll be a good, especially Irish League football. If we perform well, it could be a good advertising for Irish League football. That's what we're here for, to promote Glentoran, promote ourselves, to do it as best we can. We win, we win. If we lose, we'll at least give it a go. So we're here to give it our best, and what the scoreboard says after 90 minutes, we'll take it.